Welcome to Us Watching Us. This is where Us watches Us from 2010 right now, where we had filmed a trip of videos, a video of trips. We went on this big trip around the world and we filmed the whole thing and made videos out of it. And it turned into our video project. So we're watching the beginning of it. We're about 6 or 7 months into the initial traveling series that we did. And we are going to be picking up in Macau and then going into southern China in the episodes we'll be watching tonight.
Ooh, just remembered that we have a bet about soup.
What was the bet?
The bet was that the soup happened in the south of China.
Okay. It did not.
Yeah, but
it did not. That bet is being re-betted.
So you might wonder, what are you betting? This is a gentleman's bet. I only bet well, sometimes I bet bigger things, but it's very rare. But this is a gentleman's bet. It's for gloating only.
So we will be watching some videos for the first time. We've never watched them, and then looking at some photos afterwards. And that's what we'd be doing. So we've got headphones we need to put in our heads. And then we'll get some videos going. But before we do the videos, we are going to get a map going so we can all be on the same page as to where and what China is and where and what we will be exploring in this particular evening. I gotta click this button and then click that button, and now you guys should be able to see.
I know where this soup happened.
You don't know where this soup happened. You think the soup happened in Guangzhou or whatever it was.
Guangdong.
Chinese pronunciation stuff is gonna be a disaster, by the way. Whenever I hang out with Chinese people and I try to talk about where we went on China, it turns into either writing out the kanjis for things or getting a map involved. Okay. So in previous videos, you have seen us all over Southeast Asia, and in the last video, we made our way from Bangkok up to Hong Kong. And last week's video that we watched was in Hong Kong, and there is another city-state across this bay called Macau that less people seem to be aware of than Hong Kong. Hong Kong seems to be the big one. And it sort of is a similar history to Hong Kong, where it was kind of like a port owned by another country. Hong Kong, the UK, Macau was Portugal. So they each have got a heavy Chinese influence, obviously, because they're basically proximity. They're in China, basically, physically. And then they each have a bit of a distinct flavor because of the different influence from the colonization, I guess is the right word to use, that had taken place for a long time. And they both became parts of China and sort of like are in this weird limbo area where they're not quite China, but China sort of reaching in and taking more, and it's a whole political thing. But Hong Kong has got, on my memory, a much more lively, it's much more alive. Macau has turned into the Las Vegas of Asia. And when we were there, it was still in that transition. My understanding is now it's even more. Oh yeah, it's supposedly like crazy now, like really. But we haven't seen it. This is what I've been explained to me. Homie Live US, thank you for.
Hold on. Leave it there, and let's try and squish it together. Okay, so it's gonna be like a 1, 2, and then 3.
Okay, on 3.
On 3.
Okay, 1, 2.
Oh God. Oh. Okay, so next time we plug our... God, that really hurt. And I have been warning.
Anyway.
Oh, God damn it. Okay, here we go.
These 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Okay, that was much better.
Yeah, that was much safer.
Whew, I think it really did hurt my ear.
What?
I like how unconvincing your what was.
Every once in a while, my computer freaks out.
That's an A+ squish. I agree. It was very fun.
Okay. So anyways, we'll be seeing some stuff in Macau here. And then from there, we head into China, which actually takes a border crossing because in Macau, you're not technically in China at that point.
Kind of remember
so,
that.
Yeah, we had to go through a border crossing and stuff. And we'll go up into this town of Guangzhou, I think. But I'm just guessing at the pronunciation. It's totally not what we think it is. I don't know how Chinese works. And then after that, tonight, we will be making our way all the way up to a little city outside of Shanghai. And I think it is this one. I think it's this one. And this is where Katie's soup is, but she doesn't think it's there. She thinks it's down here. And that was the bet we just made. She thinks it's here. I know it's here because I saw the picture earlier. So I'm cheating a bit, but I remembered last week as well.
Let's just all remember that he's a cheater.
Yeah.
And I live on conviction. I live on how I core feel about where that soup happened.
Yeah, Macau was under Portuguese rule until 99. I think Hong Kong was till 97, wasn't it, when they got handed over? It was like they were within a few years of each other.
92?
No, I think it was later than that. I think when I worked at a Chinese restaurant and they were from Macau. And I remember them saying that they were uncomfortable with how the Hong Kong handover had recently gone when I worked there. Wow. Yeah, 97. Yeah, I remember them talking about the Hong Kong handover. Like it had just happened.
I'm glad I didn't bet any of those motherfuckers on the date.
Something that's funny about the Macau videos is that this Chinese family that I worked at the Chinese restaurant way before, like 15 years before the trip, right? And then we went on the trip and we still went in as customers all the time to this Chinese restaurant. So they knew me and I mean, whatever. And there were these kids that were little when I worked there. And they would always just be like in the restaurant, like hanging out. And then we went on the trip and then we went back to Fredericksburg and I went to that place. And the kids at this point had become like, they're 18 or 19 years old. And that kid he was like, I saw the video of you in Macau. He was like freaking out. And like at the time, the video had like a couple hundred views. It was like nobody was watching this, but somehow this guy's like on YouTube, like F5ing Macau because that's where he's from. And it just blew his mind that the dude that used to work there, that he grew up like seeing work there, was like there or whatever. It is Valentine's Day. Katie gave me some chocolate.
And wieners.
Yeah, I got some wieners. All right, let's get into the videos.
Eric, how are you gonna triple those wieners for White Day?
Well, you gave me 3 total wieners, right?
Yeah, it was 3 total wieners.
You're going to get 6 wieners.
But I don't like wieners.
Tough. You gave wieners, you get wieners.
That's not true. We tailor our gifts to those who we love.
All right, I don't know. I'll get you some clams or something. What do you want?
Wieners are arguably the best Valentine's Day gift. Let's argue.
Do you have a headphone in?
Oh, Katie doesn't like me. They're fine, but I don't want to eat 6 of them. Like 1 and then it's like some other stuff.
Are you playing this cool, like real cool, like, or do you not realize wieners are like penises?
No. I'm playing it real cool.
All right, let's get into the first episode. So again, last week we were in Hong Kong. We took a ferry. It's like a short ferry, like an hour or something to get to Macau. And now I think there's a bridge, but I don't think there was then.
Kind of sad Hong Kong's over.
Hong Kong. Oh, it was only 1 week.
Yeah.
We're going to get, if we stick with us, we'll be back in Hong Kong like in many years. Because remember, we went a second time.
What?
We've been to Hong Kong twice. We went there after we lived in Japan, like 2016 or something.
Sounds cool.
All right, here we go. You guys got audio?
Welcome to the Asian Las Vegas, Macau.
Permitted to remain.
Permitted to remain. So we entered on March 31st and we can stay until April 30th.
Okay, I had that backwards.
She's making us these little coffee waffle balls. They are epic.
Yeah, they are
very good. And one day I will find one of these machines and put it in my house.
You had one.
I have one. Oh, I gotta figure out how to do this.
You gotta make it better.
Well, no, I don't have one.
You don't have the thing anymore? We had a takoyaki maker. Do we still have that?
It's not the same because she has the grill on top.
Yeah, but I mean, you could make a takoyaki ball, man. Could you just do it with takoyaki? It's all good.
Let me see what she does first.
She's gonna make balls.
So when they're done, they wrap it up and they put it in this little bag, and you just break off the little balls as you go.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
It's still really hot.
Be careful. All right, it's Easter weekend in Macau, and there are a lot of people. One thing I want to show you is how they make these cookies that they're selling that are like a really big hit. When we ate them, I thought they were really dry tasting, and this will explain why. He takes like all this crumbled, like, I guess those are...
I can't tell if the video sped up or not. It feels like I sped up the video.
It doesn't feel like it's sped up.
Almonds and dough-ish type things that aren't dough.
They're really good.
And then Eric likes them a lot.
It almost seemed like he was presenting that.
And then he slams them into a little tray, smushes them in, and then takes them out. And they don't fall apart somehow, which is amazing.
I love people who get good at something like that. Like the motions he makes and stuff, you can see he's done it a lot, and he's like perfected his system, and he's figured out like how to make it as efficient as possible for himself, like with his like da 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 or whatever. It's just like really cool.
This is peanut brittle, and the smell is unbelievable. It is completely awesome smelling.
In Macau?
Okay, yeah, Katie's gonna get into this, but Macau, something that's unique about Macau, it has a really strong Catholic presence, and we happen to be there on Easter, which is like coincidental. We didn't aim for that, but yeah, it's just I think that was really lucky. I think that we nailed that time period. But it's unique because I mean Catholic China, you know what I mean? But it's because of the Portuguese influence.
These are the ruins of St. Paul. From what I understand, it's like a wall and a stairwell that's left. They say
ruined.
It's ruined. They say that this is the greatest monument to Christianity in Asia.
End of the statement.
It's just kind of like, okay, it's the greatest one. That makes sense.
So it's Good Friday, apparently, and that means that we have some Cadbury cream eggs that we have found. We're going to be in Macau, which is...
That used to be a tradition.
Cadbury cream egg for Christmas or for Easter.
For Easter, yeah.
I would, if somebody handed me one of those things on Good Friday, I'd still eat one.
Yeah, I would definitely eat it.
Would you eat the whole thing?
Depends on how many calories are in it.
It's a lot.
Yeah. What's the calorie on a Cadbury cream egg?
Hold on. Let's see here. Cadbury cream egg calories. Every 40 gram egg contains 177 calories.
177?
Yeah.
That's fine.
But it says it's 26.5 grams of sugar.
Shit. That's fine. Like 1,000 calories. That's what I thought too.
the biggest like Catholic collection of anything in China or in the Chinese region. So it was just dumb luck that we were here during Easter and Good Friday and whatnot. So we're gonna enjoy our Cadbury cream eggs.
Before we talk about it in the video, do you remember where we stayed in Macau?
Yeah, it was a very shitty hotel.
You kind of remember. What color were the walls?
Green.
Okay,
they were very
okay.
thin. They had been put in. They weren't walls. They were partitions. It was all very
I was just wondering if you still remembered. I think we'll probably talk about it in the video. I hope we do.
Number 12, Macaulay Pataka dollars thing. MOP. We don't know how to pronounce the currency here. Anyways, you can get yourself some vanilla ice cream topped with some durian crumbs. I hate durian, but I like ice cream. This is a really bad love-hate relationship I've got with this snack. And you can also smile and laugh at the lady that gives it to you because she goes, vanilla!
Vanilla! We were having fun.
Right now we are on the island Taipa. I can't pronounce it. I'm just getting it wrong, but that's all right.
We're just like laughing in our ignorance. Like it's just become comical to us at this point.
Over here in Macau, they have more casinos. And right here is the City of Dreams. This building right here is the Crown. Is that right?
Crown Royale.
Crown Royale. The Hard Rock Hotel is right here. Not sure what that building is, but as you come over here, this is the Venetian. Whoa. It is the largest casino in the world, and it's 3 times the size of itself that is in Las Vegas. It's gigantic, and we're getting ready to go in there.
My understanding is this whole area is actually even more developed now. I remember walking around here and it felt dead. It was really strange. Like you'd expect it to have like a strip vibe or something like that, but I just remember it being like, it felt like a ghost town when we were there.
Part of me started to wonder if it really just appeals to high rollers. High rollers and...
But why would it be so big? They have to be expecting crowds. My understanding from what people have said is that the vibe is very different there now. Like there's more going on maybe? I don't know. But it was bizarre. It felt like it felt like a ghost town. It was very strange. Has anybody been there in the last like 5 years or so or something to have any input on that?
They've got I've got news. They've got a theater in there that seats 15,000 people. So it's big.
Oh, it's big.
That's big.
Alright, so I got some stir fry here at this restaurant with chicken and black beans. The black beans just look like watermelon seeds. It's a little weird. But we got a mini wishbone. Shall we?
No!
It's digging into my hand.
Yeah, girl. No wishes.
It's the hardest thing in the world to break.
I get to wish. I'm a winner. Alright, so today is Easter Day, and
what animal did that come from? Like a rat? Do rats have wishbones?
What about this guy?
I like that I think the wishbone is here.
No, the wishbone is like the little dog.
Oh, yeah.
Travels through time or something and reads books. Solves mysteries.
Books. I don't know. He just likes books. And sleeping.
Look how big I am. Is that what it looks like all the time now? Like when we're walking around the city?
It's hard for me to see it.
How is that hard for me? I'm twice the size.
It's still hard for me to see.
there's Eric. He is the tall man, taller than everyone else. And he's getting a snack. He's actually getting some hot beverage. I have no idea what it is. I'm sure he'll have me taste it and I'll go, ugh, but it's definitely worth it. Anyways, it's Easter and there are tons of people here in Macau. Like, the population triples and there are just people everywhere in the streets, especially in this area because it is like the religious area. We're gonna go back to the ruins of St. Paul and see if there's any commotion over there. What's interesting about this place is that people are constantly snacking. Like,
really?
There's another snack hut with a huge line around it, and people are like, can I get a drink? Can I get one of these little pie things? Can I get anything? You sell something sweet, you'll make $1 million here.
There's something weird about when you come into certain buildings, like public buildings and stuff, like we just came into the post office, the security guard is standing there and he points this little ring at you to take your temperature.
That's weird. It's not weird anymore. Because they were dealing with they were dealing with pig flu or whatever it was back, bird flu or whatever back in the day. And that wasn't something that happened in the West really.
Like he just, like as you're walking in, he just points it at you and it reads it back to him off your forehead or whatever. And that's because they're worried about the pigs' flus. It's weird stuff.
Wow, it's weird to hear me talk about that way. Stupid future sucks.
We are back in the
Oh, this was amazing.
casino.
Oh,
and
where's
Eric
the
showed me this
usagi?
giant horoscope like wheel that they have on the ceiling that looks like it's made out of silver. It's absolutely amazing.
This thing is like really big. Like it's the whole ceiling of this giant room. I remember being pretty impressed with this.
I'm so excited right now.
It looked so much more high resolution in real life.
What?
Yes.
Fucking Macau.
Yeah, look how big the room is.
And the floor is
opened up.
opening.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. A lot of times I think these things are going to be kind of like dumb or whatever, but they really knocked it out of the park.
It's still going.
Yeah, a tree came up and stuff. That's right. It's like made of gold and stuff.
And I kind of feel like they're just showing you shiny shit. People are throwing money.
Some people are throwing a lot of money at the tree. I need a tree costume.
That'd be pretty funny to afterwards just wear the tree costume and see if anybody gives you money. What the fuck is this?
Being a man, not having to wait in a bathroom line.
If you'd pan to me there, that'd be pretty funny.
That looked like a McDonald's or something.
Yeah, it did look like a McDonald's.
All right, that was part one.
So that was like 80% snacks, 20%
all I remember about what we
chandelier.
did there was eating. I don't remember doing. Oh no, we went to the Easter.
Yeah, we went up to that thing and we didn't talk about it at all.
Yeah, but no, we went to a church. We got tickets to go to see like a performance for Easter.
And I mean, we went to that thing.
But we still have another.
And I remember making video there.
There's still another video.
Oh, okay.
Here comes part two.
Shiny. I must throw money at it.
Eric, what are you doing?
Getting a Chick-fil-A sandwich.
Where are you?
China.
And what do you have to do to get the Chick-fil-A sandwich?
Wait in a line for an hour.
It's not actually Chick-fil-A. It's like a
It just looks
pork
like
cutlet
it
or
and
something.
smells like it. Yeah.
I remember being really pumped on it, and you were just like, meh. I don't know what your deal was. You were not pumped on this sandwich.
I wasn't pumped on the sandwich, and I wasn't gonna get one for myself, and I was so.
I think you were grumpy that day, to be completely honest, maybe. I don't know. I don't remember what your deal was. You don't sound grumpy.
Well, I'm poking at you
Yeah, it's true.
because you're waiting in line for a chicken sandwich for an hour. I've definitely done that before, so.
Real Chick-fil-A. It looks like Chick-fil-A. I'm not sure.
It's China filet.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And it might be made of pork instead of chicken. Who
True.
knows? Could be made of anything.
All right, well,
I'm coxing.
we're on our way to 30 minutes as we still stand in this large chicken.
You're running
Oh
a
man,
timer.
I got a timer and
You
everything.
did.
I fucking
You used to time
loved that watch. I used to
everything.
time everything, and I was constantly looking at my watch. God, I loved that watch. You know when you talk about like the things that you get the most money out of, like that watch probably cost me like
$10 or something.
$10.
Yeah.
But if you had told me if I had to value like how much entertainment or how useful it was, like hundreds of dollars, hundreds of dollars.
You should buy yourself a watch that's good.
But I like that watch. It sucked, but it
We
was
could probably
so
look up the
good.
model number and find one on eBay.
It's a pork chop.
I know it breaks.
Chop bun, it's not chicken. All right then. Are you excited?
Yeah.
All right. And it's gonna cost 18 MOP.
18 MOP.
Okay. And I mean,
People, was something shiny around?
people
I heard the
lined up
coins.
around the block for this shit. It is not. It's no joke. See all those people? They like the biscuit with the pork. Mmm.
Yeah.
God, it looks good.
Yeah, it looks good.
Half an hour wait. Right there. Okay.
Half an hour is not bad.
Hot. Watch out.
Wow. This is really good.
China does bread stuffs really good, like buns. You know what I mean? Like their own style of it or whatever. That's what I don't know. Really, can we go back there and get this?
Yeah.
Those people aren't messing around.
That's it. That's all we said.
This casino, they've got this Ferrari store, which is just like, crappy t-shirts and stuff with Ferrari written on them. And they've got this, fake F1 car. And then they've got an F1 engine. And it's for sale. And it's $65,000 US. Right.
Nice ball.
That's a big one. Nice shaft. Hey, this thing is mildly penis.
That's a really bad display. You remember when the chandelier was coming down and the tree was coming up? And
What
we
was
were
bad
like,
about the display?
wow, it just looks unthought of. It just seemed like somebody. It's like before AI knew what was pretty, and they just put it into AI, and AI was like, and then that's what came out. Like some words were on there, but it was like just kind of lighten things up in a weird way.
It's possible that some of it wasn't working right because of the flicker on the camera or something. It might have looked better in person.
Oh yeah, maybe.
But
Still,
I don't remember. Look how crowded it is.
More people throwing coins at the shiny nautical.
Ah, you should dress up like a shiny tree and just go there. Do you recall orange cones in Macau?
Let's look for cones.
I don't remember.
Line to get these tickets for this concert for Easter Sunday or something. I don't know. We're at some church.
I kind of remember this.
And we were just all sitting in a line, and I went to use the bathroom, and I've come back. And as I came back, they were kind of trying to establish a real line, and Katie kind of pushed her way into it. And if you've ever been to Asia, you'd understand how complicated that can be.
Oh, there's Katie.
Lines don't really exist, so...
We're just now getting into the mainland China part of lines. Because then during Easter, there was a lot of people that, from what our understanding, was a lot of like Christians and Catholic people or whatever from China, which these people do exist, would come to Macau specifically for like Easter celebrations. So there's a lot of like mainland tourism that comes during that time. Is China part of the conspiracy? I don't know, man. I gotta figure out where all these cones are made.
Do those poles count as cones?
It depends on who you ask. Is it no, those are for organization of people that's not being used properly. I would say they don't, but sometimes you'll see an orange thing that's for like traffic or whatever. Does that count as a cone? It depends on who you ask. If you ask Danny, then he's gonna be like, no, it's gotta be a cone. But other people are like, is a cone defined by its purpose or its color or like, you know what I mean? Its soul? Like what's it gotta be? Does it have to be conical? There's a lot, because it is a cone. I don't know. It's complicated. Does that,
Exists and then doesn't. She gets pissed off.
What would she get pissed off about? I talked over myself. I don't know what I said.
She gets pissed off.
I just said that again.
Really exists. So.
I think lines maybe.
Trying to establish a real line, and Katie kind of pushed her way into it. And if you've ever been to Asia, you'd understand how complicated that can be. Lines don't really exist. So. She's gonna end up mad because whenever a line is supposed to exist and then doesn't, she gets pissed off.
You got through that.
This is Katie on the phone with her mother, using the.
We bought that iPod Touch in Hong Kong.
In Hong Kong.
Yeah, and it dies before the end of the trip, which was a bummer. Because it was expensive. I don't know, it was like $300 or $400 or something. It died in India. But we bought it because we wanted to be able to read Lonely Planet and stuff, like just on it. We did downloaded PDFs, and we just realized that it would be cheaper if we just had them in PDFs on the thing.
I don't think that we committed to that.
Yeah, we did.
Way of traveling.
Okay. I think maybe maybe we bought a book as well. It would be interesting to see if anyone...
I don't remember ever like deep diving into that gadget.
I remember using it though because we were using it for like because it had maps on it and stuff.
Yeah,
we definitely would use it for maps and like getting around and stuff.
Used it, but yeah, I don't think we transitioned from book to that.
Yeah,
because that would just be very anti-Katie. It need to be tactile.
Using the iPod with Skype, it's pretty amazing. We're stealing somebody's internet.
I really remember sitting there having that moment.
Yeah.
Heavens is providing us with free access.
You're holding the thing up.
You don't trust it to hang. It's going to be able to hear me.
All right, Mom. You wanted a video? Okay, so this is the room.
It died because we killed it. It didn't die because Apple killed it. So this horrible. This place sucked.
It's a pretty small bed Eric and I both shared. It's bigger than a twin, but it's smaller than a full. Comes with a fan. You've got a sink in your room, chair, and all that other stuff. But you do not have a complete wall on either end of the spectrum. There's a crack down there too.
It had a real rapey, hostile vibe. Like those are the vibes I would give it. It felt like bad things happened. It felt almost like a prison.
Yeah, it felt like at some point maybe someone had created those rooms for something that wasn't that people would like pay to. No, people would be paying to use that, but there'd be people in those rooms. I don't know, like something bad where people couldn't get out of those little rooms.
Wooden tripods and barriers used to. Oh, yeah. That guy. That's where the conspiracy begins. We need to find that man. I remember they filmed a movie or something in this.
Yeah.
I mean, you are literally sleeping in a fitting room with a bunch of other people in fitting rooms. You can hear what they're doing in their room. They can hear what you're doing. If they speak English, you know what they're talking about. And I'll take you through the rest of the place. Try and be quiet about it.
I remember the stairs being steep.
You go down this hallway to go to the bathroom. They do have free water, which is really nice. Free water. I can't explain to you the smell that just happened to me. Toilets, just regular stuff. Shared shower, 2 for like, I don't know how many rooms they have in here, but they could at least have over 50 guests at a time, so 2 showers is kind of limited. There was a line last night, which kind of sucked, but it's hot water, and that's a luxury sometimes. Apparently the place that we were staying in is the site for a film, this Isabella film right here, and we've been seeing girls running up to the building screaming and taking pictures with it, so not really sure exactly what it is, but it says, is she a one-nighter or is she his daughter? That's where we stayed in Macau. It's not the best of places, but it was cheap enough to make it worth it. And now we're leaving. Onward to China.
You filmed that like on the way out the door.
Wow. Bellagio.
That was awesome.
All right. So that was all we filmed in Macau. So we've been moving into China now. And my recollection of the first place we stayed in China, we went over the border. Our entire time in China felt, not the entire time, but a lot of it felt just kind of off. Like it wasn't our favorite place. And it was just, when we entered, it was like, I remember it just raining the entire time we were in this little town. It was like rainy. And I remember it was like under construction. Like everything was under construction. Like every time you wanted to walk anywhere, you were walking through the mud and stuff because everything was under construction at the time. It was like, I don't remember exactly what the whole deal was. But.
Specifically, one place that we stayed, my mom had done a timeshare for us. And I feel like we ended up in an untrafficked area.
That was in Beijing.
Like, yeah, that just took us out of the normal area. And
we were okay with that at the time. I think we wanted to pause.
Well, what makes me think is like around that area where the timeshare was, that they were doing construction there and that area was developing. But we stayed in a lot of other places that felt like it was under construction.
I'm just talking about the first city we went to, not everywhere in China when we were there.
Gotcha. When you said that, it just made me think of that.
Yeah, the Ocean's 11 thing, I agree. D Winter, I guess. I got that right. Am I saying that right? Thanks for hanging out. Glad you could swing by for a stream. All right, let's get into the first episode of China. And I think it's kind of, I don't remember filming much here either. So I don't think it's going to be, it's only 8 minutes. So. And that's the whole time. The whole time we were in this town.
Ba-da-doom, boom, boom.
I fucked up and didn't flip the screen. Sorry.
Ooh, let's watch it again.
We get to watch it all again. My bad. I always do that. I got too many screens.
I don't think you always do that. That was
I do it
surprising.
more than I should.
Can't see the video.
Let's just start it over.
The video?
Here you go.
We've just arrived in China. We took a bus. It only took a couple of hours. Let's interview Katie. Katie, where are you at?
I'm in China.
Okay. Where are you go? Where?
I look really happy.
In China. What's the name of the town?
Guangzhou, I think. It's really bad.
And where are you gonna stay tonight?
I don't know.
Do you know where you are in the town?
No.
Do you really know anything?
I'm hungry.
Can you count to 10 in Chinese?
No.
I still make that no sound.
But I'm here.
And somebody has microwaved something, and their Hot Pocket is done.
Somebody needs to get their Hot Pocket out of the microwave.
Oh my god.
So again, like, once again,
so cute.
we went into a country and we didn't have any place to stay. We had nothing.
You don't need that.
We were nuts, dude.
So we've come to this place in China, and they open the door with these. Oh my gosh, and we've never dreamed of something like this. Future. Hold on. Am I joking? Because like we used this in America before we left.
We're joking because we haven't seen it.
We haven't
the entire
seen
time
any
we've been
of
traveling.
that for the past and we've been hoteling hard.
Yeah.
You know?
We've been living in hotels and we haven't seen
we've
anything
been
like that.
hosteling or cheaping it hard.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, you need keys.
Hold on, still going? Yeah. We've had keys that have had like 4-inch logs attached to them. And people in this are getting it like, you could use this. Or you could just put a keychain on it. Why you gotta put a log on it? So we basically
I forgot about that. We did.
I don't even remember
We used to always call all keys the log. You got the log. had a log or not.
That is so funny.
You got the log. Yeah, I forgot about that. Oh, it's funny.
Were we calling that a log?
I don't know, probably.
This has also got toilet in the shower.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
You can get a lot done. You can get a lot done during that shower.
That's pretty peculiar.
All right, we're at our first meal in China where we've actually had Chinese food.
There's weird shit all over this town.
We've already seen scorpions, snakes, turtles, kittens that are all for sale for food. So at this restaurant, there's nothing in English, but there are pictures. So.
Ooh, we can read some of this now. Okay, so that's pork, that's beef, that's lung, beef pieces. I can read like pieces of things. A lot of this is just cow. Those are spring rolls. Something ear, deep fry. It's kind of fuzzy. It's hard to read that one.
This is the first appearance of Pet Shop or Restaurant.
We were playing that in Bangkok. That's when I remember coming up with it. Yeah, where'd the ear one go? Mimi, white something ear itame. Something.
This is what we've
got. If I can get the right frame. Is that the tooth water cow something?
Which one? You got to like, you're just pointing in
Okay,
general.
so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7 is not tooth. It's
But
something else.
it's Chinese. It could be simplified. It looks like it could be ha.
Could be ha.
Yeah. I don't know. You can get it. It's weird. It's like looking at. It's kind of like looking, like if you can speak English, it's like looking at Spanish, but it's a little fuzzy. You can kind of understand certain things. It was my first time in Asia. First, we ordered chicken and some feet turned up. Constructed throat, nice.
Can you point at what we're getting? It's in the corner.
We got this guy.
We're getting this.
Okay, some sort of oil.
Like a bean
Soy oil? Yeah.
It could be soy oil. And then that last thing could be lung. I don't know. I'm really guessing. It's differently written. It could be probably intestine. It's probably
Well, we can do Google.
Oh yeah, we can do
Google now.
Google can do that now.
This is shit we couldn't do back in the day.
It's not lung. Yeah, it's not.
Okay, so I gotta get back. I don't use this function very often. Okay.
But is it? Then you got the kanji for tori is the radical of
Chinese. This is not Japanese.
It is translated the numbers.
It really wants to translate the numbers.
It's intestines.
Royal male horse.
What animal? It's goose intestines?
King goose.
Oh, okay, word. Oh, you said goose interesting, and I was like, I don't know what that means. Okay, goose intestines. Okay, cool. We were wondering if it was, when we were there, we took a picture of it and sent it to a friend of ours who's a vet, and she was like, that could be about the size of a dog.
Yeah, we sent a picture of the food, not the Chinese.
Yeah, to an American vet.
Goose intestines.
Nice. So we just picked that based on, of course we couldn't read this, and there was no Google like translate like what we just did back in the day. So we just, I don't know what that is. We had no idea.
We'll have to tell Tess.
It doesn't look like it's going to kill us. So we're pretty excited about that. And I managed to get...
It's cool though, because Tess figured out it was intestines. Based on like what it looked like. She just couldn't identify the animal.
Coca-Cola.
That looks dope.
I can't read that.
Cool font.
So they brought us tea, and you're not supposed to point the spout at people at the table. This is very eye-opening. I can't wait to see if our food doesn't taste like shit.
Moments later. I love the noise you left in there.
I expected this to have chicken in it, and it did have like 3 pieces of chicken.
Which Katie ate all of.
Correction, goose.
Bird catches the chicken. But it also came with these noodle-looking things. They are not noodles. They are crunchy and rubbery, and we're not really sure if they are an internal organ or a fungus.
We're hoping for a fungus.
We are hoping for a fungus. Never did I think I'd be saying that in my life. What the hell is that? You see that bump? That doesn't feel right.
That's intestine.
I somehow sorted it over there.
Look at Katie's skills. She sucked on that.
Oh.
You sucked on it like it was a nipple or something. That was horrible.
I know how to get his goat.
Wow. That's a fucking intestine. Oh my god. That was one of the most disappointing meals. And it wasn't really bad. It's just, I wasn't prepared for that.
Yeah, I remember the texture was just not cutting the mustard for me.
We've made an unfortunate discovery with our meal here. That's fat. Mushrooms don't have fat, so this is
Oh god.
fairly certain. Eat it. Eat it. We're fairly certain this is the intestines of some unfortunate animal, hopefully. We're hoping for animal at this point, not person.
Wow.
This here is a durian, a whole stack of durians. How do you feel?
A little nauseous. Durians are. Did you just zoom real far in on
I
me?
zoomed out. Oh my God.
Durians are very fragrant. They are actually banned on the subway in Singapore. Like, you can't have any strong smelling items, and like the item that they show is the item you're not allowed to have on is the durian. I mean, we're standing like, you could smell them 20 feet ago, and now we're standing next to them, and he's making me make a video, and it's really disgusting.
Let's get one.
We're not getting one.
Oh, put it on top of the intestines you just had.
No. This is the worst 20 minutes.
So we read someplace that China, the average number of sexual partners in China for each person is 10, which
Yeah, they do smell bad when they're sitting there. You can smell them from a distance.
Yeah. You don't have to cut into them.
That was a stinky pile. What was I talking about here?
Sexual partners the average number of sexual partners for Chinese people is 10.
They be fucking.
So we read someplace that China, the average number of sexual partners in China for each person is 10, which is ridiculous if you think about it. But
Is it?
AIDS infection.
Pause.
Am I just a prude?
Everyone in the chat, let us know. Do you think that's ridiculous?
Yeah. I'm just a prude, I think.
Rate is extremely low. It's like less than 0.1%. And they don't have they have a large population, but like within the last 20 years, obviously, they have had a gigantic cutback in the expansion of their population. So it's really, really bizarre. Like, what are they doing right where we're doing wrong? Where we have this massive AIDS problem and lots of unwed marriage, teenage pregnancy, and all this. It really isn't a problem here. And the answer is, you can buy condoms anywhere. It's not a taboo subject. I mean, you can go, they're not locked in a case someplace. This is a vending machine in a subway station. So, like, you can just walk up and get condoms without this, like, weird social stigma that they tend to put on it in the United States. And that might have something to do with it.
Were there Cheetos in that vending machine?
There's definitely a good time in that vending machine.
There's like some like chips and stuff down here.
There's chips.
You can get
Like
chips.
You
Look at
should have
this.
gotten like a.
You can get a condom and a sausage.
Yeah, I
Wow,
definitely was
that could go
eyeballing
together.
the sausage.
and that might have something to do with it. You can also buy sausage. I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but everything in this town is under construction. Like everything. Like everywhere we've been on over a large area of it today, and everywhere we go, things are being built. We're staying on this like little island where they stuff all the honkies, and the entire island is completely being renovated. And like, see, there's this.
But no cones.
And I mean, it looks like it's a pretty nice place, except for it's all being torn up and it's hard to walk, and you can't walk on the sidewalk, so you walk in the street, which is really muddy, and it's a really weird place. And the other thing that we've noticed about China, it's fragrant. This TV is really, really, really big.
It's really not that big anymore. Oh, 103 inches. That's pretty big.
That's what it's advertised as, and it's 120,000 US dollars. 102. Or 102. I'm sorry. Yeah, you save $18,000 if you shop with Katie.
Gotta pick a good one. To be able to see them eyeballs. Oh, I'm not eating that. That's way too big. Oh, I can't.
Got no problem with that right now.
Did we go to the crazy night markets? We did, not in that town, I don't think. But I remember walking through a market in that town, and there were like pets in cages. Mm-hmm. But not pets for like becoming pets, but pets for like.
It was.
Yeah, it was like a food market, but there was like pets in it.
Pet shop or grocery store?
Yeah. But it was a grocery store, but it was like there were like little dogs and stuff inside of these cages, and it was really grim.
You might not like recognizing your food, but what if you really don't recognize it and it's intestines? Oh, God. I have to pee. Was that the last video and we'll do pictures?
No, we've got a couple more videos.
Okay, well, then I'll
go to the bathroom. Okay.
I'll be back.
All right, guys, it's just us. Just the two of us and you guys. What are we going to talk about? Is this a fatty? Yeah, fatty fungus. Yeah. So 10. 10's not that outlandish of a number. See, I'm pretty prude, I guess. I don't know. I don't know the word for me. But, yeah. I'm not trying to shame anybody or anything. I just am ignorant. The chicken is being seduced. Yeah, that's his game. Conservative American. I don't know if it's an American thing. I know some Americans that are out there swinging. I'm a Puritan, basically. What should we talk about? Oh yes, sexual partners. The fireplace isn't going, so we're not going to get too much into it. Man, I wish we had a fireplace. Could get one of those crappy electric fireplaces. That'd be something. You gotta listen and see if she washes her hands. And if she doesn't, chastise her. Everybody ask in the chat. I couldn't tell.
Just the two of us.
How was the food besides the intestine? We didn't. I think that here's the thing with China. The food is so foreign. I feel like you have to have somebody that knows what's going on with the food teach you how to get food in China. We did not have a good time with the food in China. No matter, every time I feel like every time we ate there were a couple of exceptions. Did you wash your hands? Or guys, can we get the wash bear in the chat?
Wash bear. Is it just the raccoon?
Yeah.
Or just the...
Yeah. But yeah, it was just difficult to find and understand how to find food in China. And we went to like, we've been to like 30 countries or whatever. But China was the one country, it was just like, I don't know how to find food that we like. And it was difficult. So that's how I would answer the question about how was the food in China. For us, it was difficult.
What the fuck is deer antler wine? What? You can't wine an antler. I don't understand. Is it like soaked in it? Who's this imposter? Mangla.
Who dat?
Who dat?
All right. So, we are going to be making a jump, and I don't know if we're going to talk about this in the video or not, but we're going to be making a jump from down here. Here, give me this. You got to be engaged.
Busy right now.
We got to make a jump from down here, and we're going to go up to this area. And this is a long train ride. Do you remember anything about this train ride?
The bee man?
Yeah, there was a man that sounded like a bee.
I watched a lot of Top Model on this ride. It was very uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was a horrible, horrible train ride.
It was a horrible train ride.
It was it was like an overnight slow train. I'm not even sure if there was like a bullet train back then that went that route. I'm sure there is now. But at the time, it was just a slow train. It was really crowded. There were people like sleeping in the aisles and stuff. It was bananas. I went from a shelter village life in the UK and then was like, what are all these foods? Duck heads floating in soup life. Yeah.
Pigeon brains?
Yeah. Penis and wine as well. Oh, lovely. Yeah, maybe now it takes like an hour on a bullet train. But yeah, when we were there, it was a different experience. And also, we did take the bullet train though when we were there. We did ride a bullet train, I think, from Shanghai to Beijing. I think we splurged on that at the time because it was a unique experience to us. Anyway, let's jump in.
So just got off of a 19-hour
19 hours on that train.
It was fucking miserable.
It was a bad train ride. I remember the seats were just wooden and they were like this.
And I almost feel like we kind of almost didn't get a seat for some reason.
And a dude was sleeping on you. Like you had a dude that was like laying on you and you were like watching Top Model on the computer. I remember a lot of people like around you
watching Top Model.
Like people were turned around in their seats looking over watching you watch Top Model.
Bus ride or train ride. It is now 10:40 in the morning, and I have no idea what town we're in really.
Was it the worst train ride we've had? No. India.
You know?
A witch doctor with a bone in his nose stole my seat. Another man on a different train got slapped across the face. India is nuts.
I've seen the map.
Yeah, we don't know what town we're in.
I couldn't pronounce it if I tried.
We know there's 2 train stations. We're not sure which one we're at. We got to find someplace to stay though, because we're really tired. And this train was really crowded. Like people bought a ticket for a 19-hour ride where they stood in the aisles and
slept standing.
They slept standing up. And then they'd end up sitting in people's laps and stuff and like just leaning on you, and it was quite an experience.
Pause. I remember being really happy we were foreigners, and that meant that people weren't going to bug us. Like the other people that Chinese to Chinese interaction, people would encroach on other people's comfort. They would just slowly, the encroachment would happen as hours passed and hours passed.
But people left us alone, kind of.
I believe that we were
across from each other. The seats face one another, and you have like your normal like 4 rows of seats that go throughout. So we are sitting on the aisle side across from each other, and that means there are people on the window side inside of us
this is probably the most comfortable ride they've ever had on this train
people are
if they've ever been on
not bothering them because we are there.
We're goaltending their comfort, and no one will bug us.
Begging us for snacks? That did happen. I don't remember where, though. The bathroom situation on the train, wasn't it just a hole?
I remember it was really hard to get to.
But I think it was really dirty. I remember people were laying in piss. I remember there was like piss all around the place.
And there was around the toilet.
Yeah. People were just like laying in it.
All right, so we're sitting in Burger King eating some Whoppers and fries after having 3 servings of large ramen bowls on the train. Let's tell you more about the train. They sell tickets that are just standing. So people are standing in the hallway, and you're crammed into a little section with 6 other people, including yourselves, and your legs are facing each other.
Oh, so it was 6.
And the people behind you are doing the same thing. So you can't recline at all. You just gotta find a good place to...
Okay, hold on. I'm going to do this a little out of order. I have pictures of this, and I think it would help illustrate a little bit. Give me just a second. I'll throw one on screen. I'm surprised we don't have any video or anything at all, but I think it makes sense. Oh, the seats aren't wooden. In my head, they were wooden. What the hell are we sitting in here?
Something that doesn't recline.
Yeah, okay. Sure. So this is Katie snoozing.
This is like, we've got to be hour 15 or greater.
Yeah, it's daylight
like
at this point.
I've got about that much power. And then, like, Tyra's just taking me to snooze.
I remember this guy was snoozing on your shoulder sometimes. And then this is at nighttime. You can see people. This is the man that sounds like a bee. When I don't even know how to, whatever his accent is or whatever. I mean, of course he speaks Chinese, so we couldn't understand anything. But he sounded like a bee was buzzing in his throat, like every time he spoke. It was bizarre. Like, this guy sounds like a bee. But you can see the people like laying, like, see this person just sitting in the aisle. These people like standing here like on each other or whatever.
And some people, they just don't even know each other. But that's
they're just like on
the
top of each other.
And if you want to go to the bathroom, you have to
climb
walk
over
through all
that's what
of
it
these
was.
people.
You would go in the bathroom and get your shoes covered in piss because there's piss all over the floor. And then you would come back and you would end up stepping on people basically to get out of the bathroom, to get back to your seat, and they would just be covered in the piss from your feet. And it's just how it worked. You should have splurged. Yeah, everybody says that. Sometimes it's fun to have these experiences.
There's no reclining on here. And you're on there for 18 hours.
The only reclining going on is the Eric Klein.
The Eric Klein.
Boo. Unsubscribe.
Were in that equation earlier weren't enough. The people who are standing in the hallway constantly have to duck into where your legs are because they're taking drink and food carts down the aisle. 30 minutes. And people are sleeping, like laying on the floor sleeping, standing up sleeping. And
there's a girl there.
For little light up toys for kids. For some weird reason, the people who work on the train are able to peddle like little items. Like there were 3 individual people that worked for the train that were peddling items like that. It was really kind of odd. Oh god. And then there was the toilet. On this train, all they have is a squatter. And I walked up to the bathroom, and there was a guy that was already waiting. And we stood there for about 10 minutes.
Using a squatter on a moving thing is obscene. I can understand in some circumstances, but that's just like, it's moving.
I knocked on the door, he had knocked on the door, then all of a sudden the attendant comes up and unlocks the door. There was nobody in there. We're not really sure why we weren't allowed in or whatever. Regardless, the guy goes in there and I figure, he knows I'm in line. He'll finish up his business as quick as he possibly can. He's in there for like 10 to 15 minutes, to the point where somebody who's not in the line starts knocking on the door for him to come out. Finally, he opens the door. I look in and get a glimpse of the turd that he's left, and I turn to him and I go, "Are you kidding me? You can go in there and flush that." He yells something at me in Chinese, and I say, "Fuck this," and I walk on behind him, just trucking along. I'm not cleaning up your filth. So I went to another bathroom, which didn't turn out to really be any better, aside from the mountain of crap that wasn't there. Yeah. Any other tidbits?
That was graphic enough.
We nicknamed everybody on the ride. There was Poof and Gold and Silver and Brown and Street Fighter. And Gene Krantz.
Purple and the Whip.
And Purple and the Whip. And we had a very good time making fun of, well, maybe not making fun of, but just observing everyone that we saw. I slept about 20 minutes during this 19-hour bus ride. I'm about to die.
I remember being at this McDonald's or Burger King.
Go back. I want to hear the names again. There was Poof and Blah and Blah and Blah and Street Fighter, and we didn't even mention the B.
You didn't mention the B. That's the only one I remember.
Not even in the list.
I don't remember what we called him Street Fighter. Was he playing a game or something?
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Whole thing's a fucking blur.
I remember being in this Burger King or whatever. I remember it being like one of those like kind of like on drugs sort of like whoa, what's going on moments of life.
I didn't push Street Fighter away from me because probably for the most part he wasn't really causing a problem.
So it gets cold here, but there's still a lot of bikes, like motorbikes and little electric scooter things and that.
So this is the first time, I know what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about with the hand things, but this is the first time we're heading north in Asia. So it's like getting into where it actually becomes winter. Most of the time we've been in Southeast Asia and stuff. So we'd seen all these scooters, but we hadn't seen the things they would do to stay warm in the winter.
And whatnot. So they've come up with this solution of strapping gloves permanently onto the handlebars. These people over here have done it as well, but they've just used packing tape. A little more ghetto.
Hi, we're in Hangzhou.
Oh man.
Foolish every time I try to pronounce anything. Anyways, we are standing at the West Lake, which is like this mythical thing that they say has inspired tons of poets and tons of other artworks and stuff like that, and we can completely see why.
This area was like this lake. It's like a lake, and my understanding is people from Shanghai will go to this lake. It's like a weekend getaway type thing.
Oh, I know who is Gold. I know who's that girl on the floor.
Yeah, the girl on the floor. Yeah, and there's probably a girl that looked like one of those poofy dogs. We used to call dogs poofs, like the ones that had bangs.
Oh yeah. Maybe it was a dog. Because there definitely could have been a dog on that ride.
So this town that we're in, we went there because it's famous for being beautiful. It is very beautiful. Like it was a very nice little lake, and I remember that like it just felt very modern and like but very nice at the same time. I remember being impressed with this little town or whatever back in the day.
What are you doing? Are you getting some gin?
Just
pointing at the water buffalo.
He's fake. So we met this girl traveling. She was from Sweden or Switzerland or some stupid.
She looked like me. She looks almost exactly like
only
me.
She's
just
fat.
She's a little bit chubbier. It was.
We're talking about the girl from Laos.
Yeah, I know.
Who took all the toilet paper.
Fat me. That's what we call her.
Really weird. Onward.
Anyway, so Fat Katie told us that she had been to China and that she really didn't enjoy it very much because the locals were kind of disgusting, she said. And she seemed like she might be a little prissy, so, you know, you kind of take things with a grain of salt. But here we are, and we're in a very nice park, like next to a big, beautiful lake, and things are really nice here. It's not by any means gruddy or, like, it's not Cambodia. And I'm not going to point at it, obviously, but sitting over here, like in an area that looks just like this, is a little girl, probably 3 or 4 years old, and she is taking a poo. And it's down that direction a ways, but all right. Seems about right, I guess.
That became a very common occurrence. You just constantly see people pooing outside.
Look at this shit. Wow.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
That's real Asia.
So, you can see that pagoda up on the hilltop. Definitely feeling like we're in China now. It's also kites. lots of things flying in the air, and lots of people. I don't know why all those people are over there.
There's a TV session, something going on.
There's something special going on here, and we don't have any idea.
My presence.
Yes.
I'm an idiot.
This is a really cool system they have in the city. All these bikes here.
You remember what happens with the bikes?
I think we bought a bike because of some stupid thing.
Yeah, something. Yeah, it's stupid. What happened? Well, I'll probably talk about it in the video.
What you do is you buy this little card, and you put a bunch of credit on the little card. And then when you want a bike, you come over and it's like locked into this little machine. You swipe your card over that and push the button, and it releases the bike, and it starts timing you.
So like this was 2010. This was like advanced, man. Like this was like new stuff, even like on a world scale. It wasn't just like, oh, this is like, you know, we've been to some countries that don't have these types of infrastructures. This was actually pretty cool.
Somebody said spy balloon.
I think they see it as a natural thing that doesn't need to be confined to a room. I'm not advocating it, but it's normal to them. No, I'm sorry. I can't buy that. Like, it's different. It's different than that. People that haven't been maybe try to excuse it as like, oh yeah, this is fine. This is just like normal, whatever. But like when we're in Beijing, we saw a man tell his child to piss into a bucket where it's like for cleaning the floor. He we're inside of a Walmart. And he's just like, just piss in the bucket. And
They're gonna clean the entire.
They're gonna clean all the floor with all the piss. Just piss everywhere. Like just piss in the. That's his disrespect. That's what that is. And there's toilets everywhere. Like China has gone out of their way to put public toilets everywhere to try to stop this, and people still just like shit in the streets. What were you gonna say?
Yeah, they are trying to work against this. They are putting up propaganda and stuff to get people to change this behavior. But one of the things that stands out to me is that we didn't see adults shitting. We did see adults pissing.
A lot.
And that's different. And it was mainly men because it's a little more easy. But you didn't see adults shitting. It's something they allow their children to do that, like, they just don't care.
But there's toilets everywhere.
And so I feel as though they know and feel for themselves that shitting in public is not something you're supposed to do, but of a certain age, you just don't care about that action.
I still think even with children, it's still not okay to leave a shit on the. In Japan, people religiously clean up shit after their dogs. In China, people just shit just shit on the sidewalk and leave it. Now another person can step in human shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, this is inexcusable to me. And I'm not sure if it's like this anymore. It's been a decade since we've been there. Maybe there's been changes or whatever, but a lot has changed since then. Yeah. So this is, to keep in mind, I will also I'd like to say that this comes from the perspective of people who were there in 2010, not people that are there now. So I don't know, but we saw a lot of heinous shit. It was like a lot.
Literal.
Yeah.
It's an hour, 14 US cents an hour. And then you just find another one of these stations and put it back in, and the stations are everywhere. So it's a really cheap way to get good transportation for the city.
I saw a cone.
The only problem is that some of the drivers here are kind of nuts, so it could be a little dangerous, but we'll find out. So we're to build your own soup place.
Boom. Boom. I told you. Okay, so you get punched in the arm, right? Is that how this works?
No, it's just gloating. I dance.
Why do you don't get to gloat? I get to gloat.
No, I'm dancing for soup, Eric Klein.
I'm gloating for... You've never even seen chicken.
God, I can't wait. Oh, man, I dream about this soup. Fucking love this soup. I miss this soup. I only had it once.
No, we went twice.
Whoa.
Look at this big rack of stuff here. You pick out what you want, like what items you want. They charge you by the item. You put it all in a basket and you hand it to these guys, and they put it in this. Hot water, which has got a broth that actually tastes really amazing. And then they cook it for a few minutes, and then call your number. And the basket's got a number, and then you pick up your stuff, and it looks just like this when it's done. And as you can see, they're not washing bowls, so they just use a bowl condom to keep your soup from being contaminated with other people's disgustingness.
Wow, you chose fake.
And this is what Katie's looks like. She got shrimp in hers.
Shrimp. Which I don't really know how I'm gonna eat because they're blazing hot and they're still in their shells, so those might just get put to the side. I tried quail eggs for the first time. They're good. They're really good. I got these. I've never had this before. It's like a fish ball in a wrap. I'm gonna give it a try. I'm very hopeful.
Shumai?
Mm-hmm.
These are like little
Maybe.
dumpling things. They're like crude
Tofu.
just fluffier.
They're made of egg, aren't they?
I think they are too.
Egg.
It's tofu.
A ton of cauliflower, which
Cauliflower
has
is
turned out
really good.
It's so good. And I think that's it that I got in mine. What did you get in yours?
Same stuff, but I got crab meat and I got a lot of green stuff.
Yeah,
Katie
a lot
hates
of
green
shit.
stuff, and I got some mushrooms,
Mushrooms. And yeah. Ugh,
cabbage.
that looks nasty.
For real though, this is a really cool place. I remember going in just like the wall of vegetables and stuff. It's really
We haven't
really
even
fun.
talked about the flavor of the broth. It was so good. It was so good.
The worst part is we can never find it again. Even if we were there, and I'm not going back there, so it doesn't matter. You're on your own. You have to get your own. You can just
I have experienced some of these restaurants,
in Japan.
like,
I've had them in Tokyo.
Japan,
Yeah, I've never been impressed with
but
them. though.
they feel too polished.
Yep.
Like the grit isn't there.
Yeah, you gotta have the grit.
And they take this idea of you customizing what you're doing and they price gouge it. And it's just a big disappointment overall. One of the places I remember going was like a really hot soup place.
Yep.
And the underlying soup situation was just so hot that it ruined the whole experience. So I've never done another one of these.
I wonder if there's like an Ikebukuro or something. There's like one of these places for like people, like actual Chinese people living in Japan. I wonder if one of these things exists.
Well,
Anyway.
I need it.
The meal, including the drinks that we got, a Fanta type drink and a Coca-Cola, is $3.50 total for both of us. For a communist country, that sure is a Ferrari dealer right there, and that's seems like a
Maserati.
little bit against the ideals.
All right, and I think we have one more, and it's probably a shorter one. Yep, about 4 minutes based on, 6 minutes.
So here's a new one. In Indonesia, it was strange to see Westerners there for a lot of people, and they were interested in taking pictures with us. But they'd come up to us and they'd ask, can I take a picture? They'd want to pose with us. They'd be friendly about it, smiling, that type of thing. China's a little different. People here are a little less courteous. They will pretend like they're not taking a picture of you to take a picture of you covertly. And it happens a lot, like multiple times an hour. For instance, a guy just went by us on a bicycle, and then he turned around and kind of came back, and then he was sitting like right next to us and pretending he was taking a picture of like the horizon over here, but there was nothing to take a picture of. As soon as we walk in front of him, you can hear his camera phone click, like the shutter goes off. And it's like, if you're gonna do that, at least shut off the shutter sound, so you don't look like such an asshole.
Girls standing behind the trees and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, earlier we were walking up through these woods and these girls were like hiding behind trees. I mean, I'm not talking about little kids. I'm talking about they were like 19 or 20. They're old enough to like have manners. But I mean, I know it's a different culture and everything, but after a while it starts to get kind of irritating.
Yeah. And where we're from, if you take a picture of someone who doesn't know that you're taking a picture of them, like it's really rude. And like we won't take pictures of people here, that like we won't take videos where there are a lot of people because we don't want to upset anyone. So after like 14 people take a picture of you and like you know they're taking a picture and they don't want to like interact with you, it really just gets annoying and it feels rude. Like just come and talk to us. Like even if you don't speak our language, show us your camera and just ask for a picture with us. We'd be more than happy to do that. So it's just odd that we are outgoing, but yet it feels like we're being put into a box where we're just foreign. It's not very fun.
Yeah, it felt gross.
I know that everyone seeing this guy is completely jealous. I
Wow.
think seriously drives.
What the fuck is
I
that?
wonder why he's getting out though.
What was that? Did you hear that
The
noise?
sound from it's that thing, I assume.
So we had our delicious breakfast and we're out here looking for a sweet treat at this carnival thing that just popped up. So we got these. They look like they might be good. And this looks like it might be chocolate. Neither of those. Really sad way. I don't know if that's
It's tofu. We don't know what tofu
We don't know what
is.
tofu is yet.
soy sauce all over it. We're real sad puppies right now. This is terrible.
I hate this.
I remember being bummed. It was just really, really
That
soy
looked
saucy
really,
flavor.
really good to me now.
Yeah.
But I
It
mean, if
might
you're
not be
looking
as
for a
bad.
sweet treat,
Yeah,
you're looking for a sweet
yeah,
treat.
Yeah.
If you soy sauce when you're looking for a sweet treat, you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah.
I don't know what's over there.
Looks dangerous. Those candles are interesting for what I assume is not a...
I know you think this looks amazing. This little guy's just hanging out on the side of the street, swimming around in a big tank for everyone. But we have some sad news. It's a restaurant. He is on the menu.
I'm not laughing because of the fate of this shark,
Hold on.
but who were?
Okay, I need to finish my thought on the candles, that it's not a Western religion.
Oh,
More
yeah.
than likely.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it. It looks like something you would see in like a church or something.
Yeah,
sort of,
yeah.
But,
So those candles seem strange to me, but maybe I... But the shark, it's very awesome to
Yeah,
think that I was actually mentioning my brother's cunt of an ex-wife. They weren't divorced at that point,
They
but
weren't. I don't
like...
remember when they got divorced.
I don't remember when they got divorced either, but it's probably post this shark comment.
Yeah, it must have been when we were in America.
She sucked.
Yeah. But anyway, she really liked sharks, so you were kind of sticking it to her there.
Yeah. We're gonna eat your favorite animal. Yeah, you come from my favorite. Oh no, tons of people have eaten my favorite animal.
Wombats?
Well, it was bears at that time.
Oh,
And
I've
then I
eaten bear.
micro-sized down to the aggressive wombat now. And you try and eat a wombat, motherfucker will rough you up.
In addition to all the bicycles they have here, they have a tremendous amount of little electric scooters in place of the
This feels like a repeat.
scooters that they have in Southeast Asia. This is one of them.
Yeah, was that the same exact footage?
No, you talked about that being dangerous, and then
Maybe
during
I
the dangerous point,
used the same
I
footage?
came into that same bike. So it's different dialogue, but the same video.
Yeah, weird. I don't know why I did that.
All right, so another great movie after we have completely trashed the amazing room that we've been in.
Yeah, this place was nice.
This room is incredible. I mean, we've got 2 twin beds, fluffy blankets, mattresses that feel like clouds.
Kind of
We have
remember.
a little table between the beds and power plugs that are actually near the bed so we can watch movies in bed, which is nice. There's another table over there, and over in the chair over there is where the internet works. And the ceilings are amazing. It's just like living in a little half wood cabin. And it smells incredible in here. We don't have a bathroom to ourselves or anything like that, but the facilities are actually pretty good. Hot water, good pressure, and
Yeah, there's the
we're
book.
right in the middle of everything here, so it's been pretty cool. I'm angry about the place right now, but I think I'm making a video that isn't angry about the place, so yay.
Why were you angry?
Here's one for you.
Wonder why.
We're kind of on the edge of town, like where you'd come in and out of town on the south side. And there's these cameras up here, and they're taking pictures of every single vehicle coming and going. You can see, of course, now there's no cars coming. You can see, watch, when these cars come up here, the flash will go off. See that? That's it, taking photos.
And letting you know that it's taking photos.
Communist rule.
Smells like pineapple right now.
There's some Chinese stuffs.
That felt very similar to the one before. Like, we talked about the pooping, and then the second one you talked about the people taking pictures, and then they both ended with gymnastics, and they felt very similar. And we had that same footage from the bike riding. It's almost as though you...
I don't know. Gotta paint a narrative with what I got.
Yeah.
You gotta film more. You're the talent. Yeah.
I filmed plenty.
Yeah, you got to do more, otherwise we end up with all these repeats, man. Let's flip through some of these pictures. What was the
scent of the room? God, I have no idea, but I liked it. Like, I guess just, I don't know.
So we didn't talk about this. I didn't have this picture last time, but this is the driver's license that I got in Hong Kong. And we didn't have this, I didn't have this picture last time. So I decided I'd show, this is what it looked like. It was just a piece of paper. It wasn't like a real driver's license. Like,
and even if you still had that license, it's expired.
Yeah. Yep.
It was valid for a really long time.
Yeah, it was 10 years.
Wow.
Anyway, so I know that's not related to today's videos, but I just saw that. Or I must have taken the picture and we were in Macau or something. So just a bunch of pictures of us in Macau.
I like that picture.
We'll be getting that. Yeah, it's nice.
It just reminds me of how unexpected. Macau to me was kind of like, this shit exists. Look at those mustaches. See the mustaches on that back building?
Nope. Yeah.
Little
like
mustaches up in the top, yeah. Can people see your mouse?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They see exactly what we're seeing. I don't know. You're the one that's doing the weird thing there, not me.
You.
Whoa, wait, whoa. Who's being weirder here?
Let them decide. And they're all going to say Eric.
This is that mildly penis building. It looks it looks okay, doesn't it?
No, it looks stupid.
Oh, hey, thanks for the $10. That means we got to clear a cube.
Well, I can only get to a certain level. Give me my cube back. You stole my cube.
Should we wait until the end of the pictures and then do the cube?
Okay.
Okay, we'll do the cube at the end. Hopefully, if you're leaving, let me know. We'll do the cube now. But if you can chill for a few minutes, then we'll do the cube later, so we don't kill the whole vibe. Why did I get a license in the first place? Because my American license, it's a long story. My American license expired while we were on the trip. I was supposed to be able to renew it, but they wouldn't let me renew it remotely because I needed an eye exam. So we had to do something. So that's what we did.
Could you have converted the Hong Kong license to a Japanese one? No way.
Doesn't matter anyways because we lost that license in Israel. So
yes, I lost that license, among other things, in Israel.
Oh, we are going to clear the cube. Are you going to be here? Can you hang out for a bit? The cube will be cleared.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember seeing this and being like, whoa, it's probably like some sort of fake, like, fantasy China stuffs. But it still looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
No, you don't have to take a test in Hong Kong. My American license just translated straight over. Or changed right over. It was easy. I don't know, something about this picture. I just put it in here because it's cool. I like the McDonald's sign with, like, without any English on it like that. Anteater Eater. Is that for realsies? Thank you for the follow.
Anteater.
It's a good name. This is what I can remember Macau looking like at nighttime.
Mm-hmm.
Just these like, it's interesting because you're basically in China, right? But you've got this, it's got that, you can see kind of the Portuguese, like European influence on the way these buildings are and stuff. And it's very different from Hong Kong, like the way that it actually looks.
I feel some Spanish vibes.
Well, yeah. I mean, Portuguese.
Yeah, that too.
They're neighbors.
This was carved into the wall where I slept. And I would definitely say at that point I was pretty exhausted. But I was shocked to read that somebody had written that. It's like sometimes in your life, certain things happen just at the point where they needed to happen. And this is so like insignificant, but really coincidental at the same time. It was kind of shocking to me and told me to shut the fuck up and keep going. So, indeed I did.
For like another year.
For a significant amount of time in the future, yes.
In a sense, we're kind of still going.
Yeah, true.
I like that you can see my waffle shoe.
Wow, look at my toes. They're so pretty.
Are you seeing the waffle shoe?
Yeah.
You're there having some sort of like attraction to your own toes.
They
past
look
our
like
toes.
nice and white and clean.
This was Michael Shoemaker was the Stig, I think, for a bit, which is I think what we found interesting about this.
Oh yeah.
Don't know what I'm looking at, but look how little that thing looks in my hand.
Mm-hmm. It's tiny.
I mean, even this is a pretty small phone. Does it look that small?
It looks smaller.
Yeah. So this was before everybody, this is like a couple days or something before Easter happened. So there's like not very many people here. Like, look how empty it is. And then the other videos that we had, it was like packed. Ah, I can read that now.
Does it say sex shop?
No, it says adult person shop. Like adult shop.
I can't read the top left because I can read the other two. Either I can't read it or like I don't know it, or it's so messy I can't read it.
I'll show it to you in Japanese. It's Naru.
Naru.
Yeah, it's that guy.
I know that is say. Like if you go to...
Yeah, Seijin, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would never...
But the
picked
kanji
that
itself
out.
is like Naru, to become. You can buy an adult person there. Yeah, it's possible. We didn't go in. I want to quit my job as a software engineer to open an artisanal bakery, and I remembered a thing from 15 years ago, namely an anagram of my name is...
Farina Sculptor.
It was a coincidence that I need... Oh, I see.
Did you do that?
Is that a thing that happened? Did you open the artisanal bakery? Here's a picture of that movie, Isabel. Is she a one-nighter or is she his... That's creepy. That's a creepy tagline.
Yes.
It's a cool picture. Mm-hmm. It's really cool because we're in that ruins of that Catholic building thing, that wall that was there. And then like just looking off and seeing so much different things. Like you've got this European influence, you're inside of this Catholic thing, and then you get into like a Asian city and then a more modern Asian metropolis and then that giant tower. That's cool, man. With the fog and everything. It's really cool.
So they are moving on to doing this bakery, getting funding, and the name Farina means flour.
Oh, okay.
That's incredible.
I see.
Very cool. Wish you super, super good luck. Yeah, I wish you success, not luck.
Yeah, and we were up in that thing. That's where we took the picture from. You could go up in it, I guess, right? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that's definitely elevated.
Yeah, I remember there being like...
I thought we filmed in it too. Why do I remember making video?
Not tanks, like cannons.
Yeah, there's pictures of it.
I remember... Who's taking this picture?
I don't know. For some reason I feel like...
I remember...
Made a video.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. I don't know what the deal is. Maybe I've just got it mixed up with something else. Yeah, cannons. You're going to take down the casino.
Mm-hmm. It was fun. Oh, my hair's pretty long there.
Yeah, you get it cut in Korea.
Need to get it cut now.
Friendship forever. It's a cool picture, too. You probably took that.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have taken something like that. What?
Friendship forever. Also, nice cock.
This is just, I don't know, those trashy t-shirt things or whatever that you see. The Ronald McDonald Hitler and the Obama, like, whatever. Anyway, I don't know why I put this in here. What was the deal with him? Do you remember him? This robot, we talked about this robot a lot.
Trash can.
Yeah, I know, but he was like in our world for a while. We talked about him all the time or something.
And
you remember
he looks
what
amazing.
He does. The eggs.
7/10/31. 31/7/10. Well, they're good until July 31st of 2010.
Yeah.
It says day, month, year.
Oh, it says it in English too. And it's just kind of the same-ish area, and how many more people are there? I've got my sandwich in there. I didn't know what that was when I looked at it. Yeah, looking pleased. Oh, look at the wallet.
Look at the man looking at the wallet. Or he's looking at your burger. Who knows?
Yeah, he's going to snatch that burger. I know that man had to wait 30 minutes for that thing. All right. Because it says KM.
The colon. The first spotting.
Yeah, this would have been
of the colon.
This would have been the first time we saw these, so we thought this name was hilarious.
Fua fua.
Fua fua.
Choco
cream no coron.
Cream no coron.
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 And they look like little buttholes. It's funny.
Looping them.
It's pretty funny. This might have been our first bubble tea. I don't know if we had it when we were in Southeast Asia at all, if it hadn't made its way down there at that point. But, yeah. Lots of people. You know what's interesting? They were going through like the pig flu thing or the SARS thing or whatever. No masks. Where are we originally from? Virginia, basically, is like the easiest answer. I like this picture. You are... Oh, yeah. Hold on. Let's go back to that. Yeah. Medicine, no fakes. You see that?
Sounds legit.
It's good. So in this picture, you're doing an impersonation. In this picture, you got a bitch on your shoulder.
Yeah.
You're not doing an impersonation here.
Nope.
You're just trying to be in charge.
I don't think I did very well there.
That's a big... Yeah, I think you're on her shoulder, to be completely honest with you. That giant ceiling. You're looking for the Are there a couple of animals that are different in the Chinese zodiac versus the one
that they use? What's a rabbit? Rabbit.
Like the Chinese and Japanese ones
Zodiac.
are slightly different, I think, by 2 animals or something. No, maybe that's the rabbit down there on the bottom. I don't remember. You looking it up?
Mm-hmm. Difference between Japanese and Chinese zodiac.
Between Chinese and Vietnamese are different by rabbit, cow, and cow water buffalo. Oh, yeah. Rabbit, cat. That's right. Yeah, there's some like differences or something. I don't remember what it is though. This is the we didn't film any of this. We probably were told not to use cameras, but here I am. But this was a Easter celebration that we went to at a church in Macau on Easter. It was really cool. Like, we aren't religious or anything, but it was just kind of cool to see that vibe and see what those people were up to for that particular day. And we felt lucky that we got to be there for the holiday and everything. It was cool. And this is entering China. Like I said, we had to go through a border check between the two places. Feels weird to film in churches. Yeah. It's I don't know, it depends on the vibe. But I just took a picture. It didn't bother anybody. So yeah, this town was just, we didn't film in any of these little markets, but we walked through a couple of these markets and they were sketch. Hell of sketch. And I don't remember which one was which or whatever, but it was something. But like we said, there was like animals you wouldn't normally be eating in cages that were being prepared for eating. This was the town that we went to, and had the intestines. Mm. And just another, this was a famous building in another church that just still happened to be there. Kind of surprises me that this is still there, to be honest with you. I don't know. I don't know enough about how China actually deals with religion right now and like symbolism from other religions, but I know it's kind of like a weird zone, but they kept this like magnificent looking structure. Fried duck's tongue with sauce. Oh.
They have tongues?
Ahiru no shita no miso itame.
Ahiru no shita no miso atame.
Itame. Mm-hmm.
I don't think I knew shita.
Mm,
and
yeah.
I would have struggled with miso and sat there for a little while and had to think about it, but I think I would have gotten to it.
That's N2 stuffs.
Miso? Yeah.
Maybe. I like the English for this. This is good. Look at this. That's something. That's not a bad translation. That's what that is. Yeah. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. The photo is called photo number, and then you wrote danger.
I like the layers I put on things. Just wrote danger.
This was just surprising at the size of this like vegetable.
It's coming along. Today was a good day.
And we already looked at these pictures.
But now that we know the nicknames, there's Street Fighter.
You're just... I had actually taken like 30 pictures of you here. Mm-hmm. Remember we used to paparazzi each other?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what was going on. This is just one of the frames. And then there's a bunch of frames of you wiping your nose. But I decided not.
Oh, yeah. I remember needing to wipe my nose.
You remember that nose wipe?
I remember that nose wipe. Because I think I had been on the train without tissues for so long.
And then just this area with the lake is pretty.
It's really pretty.
Really pretty. Beautiful.
Very beautiful.
Nothing screwing the shut up.
Not at all. Oh man, you're eating cauliflower? This doesn't make any sense.
I like
Your
I eat
bowl
it every
doesn't
night.
make any sense.
I eat it every night. You give me cauliflower for dinner every night.
It's true. And I think every night I'm like, he doesn't really like this, and then I'm
No,
like,
it's
I don't
fine.
give a fuck.
Look how big that is. That's cool looking. I like when it's obvious we just put the camera on the ground.
Yeah,
It's cool.
I like these shots. It's so big.
Mm-hmm. And we went up to the top of this hill, and we went into like a pagoda or something, and you could see out. I remember we didn't film any of that at all. And like the lake is in the background. You can see the lake. It's cool. And that was the other direction. Look at the difference. I
Culture
remember.
meets communism.
What'd you say?
Culture meets communism.
Kind of, yeah.
Like those buildings. Granted that they're not as sterile as some of their Russian counterparts, like still kind of feels that way.
I remember walking around this lake a couple times by myself. Like, and it's a big lake. It takes like a while to walk around it. But I remember we might have had a day or something where we just didn't hang out.
That if we're at that nice hotel,
You
that,
might have just
that
chilled
might
in there.
present the reason.
And just all the
The
cameras.
man.
Look at how many there are. 1, 2, 3.
I think one's looking
four,
directly at me.
5. At least 5, and maybe some other sensors or something.
And then there's like a bell.
Yeah, what's that bell for? That's a
Yeah.
weird looking. The bell is peculiar. Probably got a camera jammed in it.
Yeah.
And they,
That
of
thing
course,
is amazing.
they've got one of these boats you can go. We can't go out on the boat. All right, and that is
one?
the last picture. And we will be picking up next week, I believe. We don't have anything going on, so we will be picking up next week, and we will be doing Shanghai and Beijing, and we will do both of those. And then after that, we will be done with all the China videos, and we will be moving our way into South Korea, and we're going to do a whole bunch. Hey, thanks for hanging out. Have fun at work as much as you can. Take it easy. We got cubes to do. And yeah, I think that's. I think I'm just gonna cut the thing like very soon here, and we'll pick up from next week. And then as soon as I cut it, then we're gonna solve Rubik's cubes for a moment because we owe somebody a Rubik's cube solve. So we'll see everybody next week for the Us Watching Us. Bye. Oh wait, no, hold on. We got to do the thing where we get the thumbnail. That's not gonna make any sense.
Nope. Doesn't need to.